proper information in the proper channels.
Thank you, sir. Immediately following the announcement, and this is a follow-up to Senator Chairman Wicker's first question. Immediately following the announcement of your nomination, press stories started to circulate about comments President Trump made about you and your past relationship. And according to the reports, the president tells a story where he spoke to you while you were serving in Iraq on active duty, and you said that you loved him, and "I'll kill for you, sir." The president then said that you followed up these comments by putting on a "Make America Great Again" hat. General Kane, is any of this story true?
Senator, as I mentioned to the chairman, for 34 years I've upheld my oath of office and the responsibilities of my commission. I think I went back and listened to those tapes, and I think the president was actually talking about somebody else, and I've never worn any political merchandise or said anything to that effect.
Thank you. General Kane, during the consideration of your nomination, were you ever asked who you voted for in the last election or 2020 election?
Senator, I was not.
Are you aware of any presently serving service members or senior civilians in DOD being asked questions like this?
I'm not, Senator.
Do you agree that it's the utmost importance to keep the military apolitical and questions like this should not be asked?
I agree with you. Yes, Senator.
And what steps you'll take to guard against potential politicization?
Senator, I think the question was, what steps will I take to guard against politicalization? I think it starts with being a good example from the top and making sure that we are nonpartisan and apolitical and speaking the truth to power every day.
The person who invented this mobile phone holder is so smart. No matter what kind of mobile phone it is, it will be automatically clamped when it is placed on the stand, firmly grasping it and not falling. The angle can be adjusted 360 degrees at will. No matter what the road conditions are, it can ensure stability. The part that is in direct contact with the mobile phone is made of soft silicone, so you can use it with peace of mind without worrying about scratches. Once the mobile phone is placed on the stand, it will automatically lock, which is very convenient. Even if you are driving on a super bumpy road and there's a clang when passing over a speed bump, the mobile phone is still as stable as a mountain on the stand and does not move at all. And it supports 360-degree adjustment. No matter which angle you want to look at the mobile phone from, you can easily meet it. With it, you no longer have to worry about the mobile phone shaking or falling when driving. It is safe and reliable. Friends who often drive long distances and take complex road conditions must try it and buy it. Order today to enjoy a 14-day free trial, and you can get a full refund if you are not satisfied. Damage can be replaced free of charge within 10 years.
I saw a recent example of a integrated request from DoD to have a wheeled vehicle that can put a inside of 12 months.
Test and training range who believe they were exposed to radiation from our days of conducting explosive nuclear weapons testing and to burn pits which dispose of classified waste. However, DoD does not classify the range as a place where exposure occurred, despite the Department of Energy providing a presumption of exposure for their personnel who serve there at these exact same locations within the range. And because their service records are data masked, as you know, these veterans can't even prove to the VA that they were ever actually stationed there. And so, in fact, Nevada, there are 6 DOE-covered facilities, most of which are within the Nevada Test and Training Range, where DOE employees presumed to have been exposed to radiation. But our service members, for our service members, the VA only recognizes one, the Nevada test site, as a presumed exposure location. So one such facility that is covered for DOE but not for DOD is the Tonopah Test Range, which is both a DOE and Air Force installation. Portions of the range are still fenced off and contaminated. A 1975 environmental assessment acknowledged the contamination and the harm it would cause. But the airmen, they were never told. They do not have a presumption of exposure. As their DOE counterparts, they served alongside with due, and further adding insult to this, they can't even show that they were there. All of this have prevented them from being able to receive their well-deserved veterans benefits. And I know we talked about this. We need to make this right. And I'm committed to fixing this problem in this year's NDAA. I hope that I can count on your support to making it happen. So will you commit to working with me, of course, and the committee to find a solution that provides DOD the presumption of exposure at such data mass locations and provides those who served and are serving at these locations a way to sufficient documentation so they can submit their health-related issues without ever compromising the security of their service details?
Senator, thank you for raising this in our office call, and thank you for your leadership on this matter. I do think we owe our service members a way forward through these important jobs that they have that they can never talk about.
Yeah.
And so I do commit to staying close with you on this matter and trying to sort out a way that we can help them transition, take the credit and the risk that they've bought in the service of their nation with them into the next chapter of their lives.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I know the men and women who serve there will be very pleased if we're able to do this. It really means a lot to them. I just have about a minute left, so I want to just ask about the Force of the Future, because over the course of your service, you've gone through the rigors of actually training in Nevada skies while stationed at Nellis Air Force Base. Thank you. You know personally our military readiness depends on meeting immediate warfighting needs while preparing for potential conflict our country might face. It requires evolving and changing how we train to fight.
Speak any language at the touch of a button. Yes, now it's possible. Meet Inents, the cutting-edge two-way instant
regions. Finally, I would highlight recent press reports that suggest President Trump may soon remake the entire U.S. combatant command structure, including.
Thank you. The GIUK gap, sir. It's always been a critical maritime choke point, but it has recently grown in its strategic importance to NATO in light of the increase we're seeing with Russian submarine patrols in the Atlantic. What do you see, General, as the largest challenges with respect to the GIUK gap?
The biggest challenge is there, ma'am, at an unclassified level, just the quantity of stuff we have, the quantity of equipment and the quantity of forces we have available to monitor the underwater activity there and to counter it. It's important to understand that the U.S. has a unique role here. We have capabilities that our allies do not have. They have capabilities in numbers that we need to augment ours, so we work very closely together. But the U.S. component of those efforts is absolutely fundamental.
Thank you, General. General Langley, as we're considering Africa under your command, we have seen, I believe, an increase with the Chinese presence on the continent, economic developments, military activities, investments on the continent. Do you see, or what would you see as the greatest concern to U.S. security and also to regional stability in the area with regard to the actions that we are observing with the Chinese?
Sir, I see.
Fastest growing continent in the world. It is a place where we're seeing increasing incursion by the Chinese, as you pointed out. So as we have withdrawn our presence from countries in Africa, are you seeing additional Chinese presence come in to take over some of those services and programs that the United States has been providing? For example, in Rwanda, we had a program to help with children, women and children, and the challenges of childbirth. My understanding is that now that we have left that program, that the Chinese have come in to take it over. Are you seeing that in places?
Sir, I am seeing that. You know, there's a number of programs that we see that the Chinese Communist Party is trying to replicate. They can't do what we do. They can't do what we do in PEPFAR, where they extended the life span of a number of Africans by 20 years. They're trying to replicate that. They're trying to match what we do. So that's what we're seeing.